Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another mod stream. I'm joined by Veeq from the onset. Hi.
Hi.
So, we have a bit of a new chat setup. I hope it works because I have no idea if it will or will not. I should have fixed the issues. Connection expired, according to Restream Chat. So, I did not fix the issues. I'm glad that literally nothing can possibly fix this psychosis. I think I know why, actually. OP Hamza says, hi, I'm new. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can actually get the chat to work properly. 'Cause I can't even pick the event that I have. This whole system is so stupid. What a disaster. Well, I guess I'm back to reading chat through this manual method. So anyway, Veek, we're going to be working on some stuff today. Obviously, you're not going to be around for a huge amount of time. I don't know if you have a particular idea of your timeline there. Hopefully you don't get destroyed by a thunderstorm either.
Yeah, hopefully.
Got the classic Discord sound playing every time you unmute, which is excellent. Imagine actually having that sound on. Alright, so I think I'm done messing around with those stream settings, and now we can get into the meat of the matter. So I have a few theories here, and I want you to pull the latest dev build and meet me in the Radmin-powered test map here when you have a second. Because I have a theory about why we keep getting destroyed by desyncs, and I wanted to see if I could replicate it. And if not...
What is that theory?
Well, basically, in Ace, since we've used Ace, basically, I have noticed that we've been getting desyncs, and obviously we've also added a huge other number of things, so I can't really be sure it's Ace specifically, but I suspect that something is combining with Ace and maybe one of our plugins, and is creating this environment where any wait rand is, at the beginning of a block, is more disastrous, or potentially like more likely to cause an issue. I don't really have anything to back up this theory on a programmatical level, but the desync that I noticed mostly from Kakadu port in the previous fraud night happened when I pressed the S key on a bunch of SCVs and a southpaw, and the southpaw is the crucial part of this. The only wait rands that are left in the game are for all hovering units, which is the Vulture, the Southpaw, and all air units. That's all that still has that separate pause.
Actually.
So it's like a wait ran 2.8 at the beginning. So I basically am just going to try and figure out where that might be coming from. It's like, maybe I can actually... Oh yeah, so it's actually should be wait ran 7.9. Excuse me. Oh, never mind. Anyway, there are 14 instances of that. So my theory is I'll be able to replicate it by simply taking, for example, a shaman.
Movement in progress. Order accepted. Unit responding.
It's not
Command
happening.
archive. Systems hibernating.
Basically, by ordering it to
Order accepted. Command archive.
By ordering it to move around a lot, in theory, would cause the weight rand to occur in the first place.
Sir. Let's roll. Excellent.
All crews reporting. Take it slow.
Bring it on.
Set a course.
The other thing is that maybe he didn't have vision of it or something. Or it was at the edge of his vision and that was causing some issues. I don't know. Oh, well, I got destroyed.
Anyone visual?
Systems
Good day,
hibernating.
Commander.
Yeah, that's the issue.
All crews reporting.
I really don't know
Take it slow.
what to
Systems
expect at this
hibernating.
point. What's up, Balethal? So yeah,
All right then. Make up your mind. All right then. Decisive action. Should work. About time. All right then.
well, you shared vision with me, so you removed our ability to
About
possibly test
time.
that case. I don't know why you did that.
Decisive action. All right.
So you should play around at the edge of my vision or something.
Direct unit.
Which
Receiving
is
headquarters.
pretty much below the science facility right
Unit
now.
awaiting input. Command archive.
Greetings, Command.
No, it was your science facility. I obviously have vision of my science facility. So if you go below your science facility with your centaur, okay. Now if you just like dance to the right and to the left while issuing stop commands, maybe it will happen.
Transmit orders. Affirmative, sir.
Or maybe if I scout you while you have a unit that's in the middle of that or something. I don't know.
Affirmative, sir. Commencing. Let's roll.
No.
Excellent.
Nothing yet. I don't know. It's very weird. Well, I didn't expect to be able to actually replicate it, but anyway, I've already fixed everything so that that doesn't happen anymore. So at least there's that. But still pretty annoying, as you might imagine. All right, so at least we've taken care of that real quick. iQuery, I just sat down on my computer. I have not done anything. But also welcome. I was testing for desyncs because there was one last weight rand at the beginning of a block, or as the first weight in a block, and it was from the set vert pause idle scripts, or idle blocks. The only reason why I was made to think about that was because the desync for on Kakadu port, if you go back and watch on the Fraud Night, it happened when I issued a stop command to a southpaw, which tells it to go to idle briefly before jumping to its attack block. And I thought that maybe that had something to do with it. Because it was like basically as soon as I hit that stop key, or maybe not as soon, but very, very shortly thereafter.
So my theory is that maybe the units under fog of war aren't actually synchronized with randomizer because in theory client wouldn't know about them, I think. If they are
Well, that's
under fog
already a
of war.
problem in vanilla. So if you have a weight rand so basically if the weight rand happens and you scout a weight rand happening as I don't know why it's the first weight in a block, but basically it's if you scout a weight rand happening as it's happening, or a weight rand could have happened. I guess maybe this is the case. It's if a weight rand happened, and then the game needs to calculate a weight rand for you because you scout it as it's happening or something. You can end up with two different weight rands.
Yep.
And that can desynchronize the animation. So
The best thing would be to actually synchronize the number from the from the player that owns the unit. But I
Right.
don't know if it's visible.
Well, Iquor mentioned that it might be possible to find the function for randomizing the weights in the first place and seeing if that works. But Iquor, you also said something about hooking the function that desyncs players and drops players for that reason, for any reason, and then being able to add debug information or something. But
I think I was suggesting that, but I don't know if it's feasible.
well, Iquor was suggesting it months ago, and he never. I think
Oh.
he sent me information on it, but I didn't follow up on it. So I don't know if it's something we can hook or if it's something that I can only access in Ollie debug. Oh, yeah, so it's an Ollie debug thing. Yeah, well, we can't figure out why why it's happening at all. There's nothing that immediately jumps out and says, "Hey, this is the problem." All right, so there's a few things that I had to do here. Oh, I was in the wrong set. I was really confused. Yeah, I don't know if it would be feasible to do that to people. I already downloaded everything. I haven't bothered looking at it. I saw you said looks like you did something about the screamer pools or whatever. Well, at least they were still called screamer pools in the code. Oh, I have to revise the Cascathal art concept anyway. I didn't finish doing that. Uh, what the fuck? Oh, there's a whole new area called Hydra specific.cpp, by the way. This seems a little wasteful since we have those preprocessor commands.
None has no comment.
Am I supposed to leave the last one as having no comment? That's never been the case in all of the other IDs. They've all ended with comments.
Well, they can, but they don't have to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have an error here that says pointer to incomplete class type is not allowed.
Maybe there's some problem with Siflingy.
Oh. What? That did not fix it, I'm afraid. I pushed my changes if you want to pull them and then take a look. What else did I have to do in CVP? I forget. Oh yeah, I was going to look into the treasury. And then Icor said that there were 2 hooks that we needed to do for add-ons. I'll take a look. Hmm. I know that they probably thought that was more readable, but I don't know about that one. All right, Veeq, you want to do one of these hooks?
While I'm trying to fix the treasury, but maybe later.
Okay. Wait. Is this some sort of prank? Icor, you sent me a hook I've already done. You goofball. You goober. You prankster. Well, I guess I already did half the work anyway. So. I probably didn't do it correctly, but we'll get there. Don't worry. I wonder if my helper function is one of my hooks, do I actually need to define it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Likewise says I do. You sent me a hook for update. Well, you said I have to do 2 hooks. You asked me to do 2 hooks. One of them was already done. Update placement, state for placement box. What? Oh, it's one of those things where he tells me that my stuff that I defined as modifiable is not modifiable. I never really understand why. That's already done. That's why. Oh, I missed this somehow. I have no idea. What is this? A value type. Bool 32 cannot be assigned that entity. Oh, this is actually a word, so let's use 16. Wait, what? Oh, no, that was always the case. Arithmetic or unscoped enum type. Oh, it's probably just because it's const again. Mm. Is this in some namespace? No, global scope. What is strange exactly? You're talking to somebody who doesn't really know what the issue is, so. I don't really know that much about programming still. A value type of void cannot be assigned. Oh yeah, what the hell? This doesn't even return anything. Well, that's strange. But I don't know what it could be. So basically, V4 is storing. So it's storing the ID of the first building, and wait, what? Yeah, that's some wacky shit right there, man. Hey, where did you put byte operations again, Veek? Is it in hooks?
Probably.
Gross. So I don't even know how to get out of here. Oh. No. There we go. Well, in epic fashion. Oh, yeah. Oh, this was supposed to be a minus equals or something? So I guess it should just be V6 minus V5. Why shouldn't we do byte operations?
I think I implemented the Nexus on Treasury properly now.
Wait, what? Conversion function from 0.16 to short. So then this is supposed to be I assume that's supposed to be that. But then I don't know why V5 even exists. I guess it's just a dead variable for some reason. It's not ever passed to anything. It's probably used in that stupid byte operation math. I don't remember what the lunatic method for that one was. What a mess. Well, I've solved all but 2 errors with this particular hook, and I really don't know where to go from here. I have one that's just one of those epic definitions where it thinks that my definition of a variable in a CBW data is const, even though I've defined it without const. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how to fix that. And the other one is that the compiler... Oh, maybe actually this is just an inaccurate definition from them. I don't know. Let me take a look.
So yeah, treasury works,
Oh, nice.
but the method is pretty hacky, although I guess it will work for now. I also tested for some edge cases, should be fine. I hope it won't overflow though. I'm not sure if I can do anything about that.
Yeah, never mind on the second error. This is just them defining refresh layer 3 and 4 as void when it should be car. How dumb of them. What a bunch of goofballs. Oops. Well, good job implementing that stuff. That's pretty nice. So maybe you have some idea as to why the why SCBW data is considering, or why this project in general is considering that my variable declaration in another file is constant, even though it's not.
Is it SCPW data or something? Yeah, it is. So those are actually constant if you don't set them as pointers. Did you do that?
Well, this one
Looks
is
like.
not highlighting correctly for some reason. The one above it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a constant pointer, so but it still should be, the value should be modifiable. Are you actually dereferencing it before using? Like using the asterisk?
I should be doing this? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. That's a pointer, so you have to.
And then I don't remember that lunatic way that you had me cast an int into a 0.16. Actually, I think that was maybe an update unit state.
I just send it.
Oh. There we go. Well, that should be done. I just need to add the function here. Why did they do this stupid shit where they add all this junk? Makes it so hard to see what's happening.
You don't actually need those semicolons. Those are only like
Yeah.
decorations. So
Even less of a
I know
reason to have them at all.
I would actually remove them because they're confusing. Can you post me the to-do list? I didn't think you did that.
1 sec.
And meanwhile, I will BRB.
Okay. Some goofiness here. Holy moly, what a mess. I don't even know where to begin with that one.
Actually, the treasury range isn't that big. It's I think it's coming from the center though, so I didn't know if that was desired. It's pretty small in game.
I will check it when I can compile this. Oh yeah, we still have these errors. Why does it autocomplete? I'm expecting to just get a crash as soon as I start this up because of... Oh, I guess not. Maybe as soon as I try to... No?
Yes, sir. Reporting for duty.
Huh.
Yes, sir. Job finished. Job finished.
Add-on complete.
Cool. Well, I thought for sure I was gonna crash like shit. So what am I testing right now? The treasury.
Sacrifice me. Ready to kill.
Add-on complete.
Yes, sir. Job's finished. I read you. I can't build there. Job's finished. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting for duty. Affirmative. Job's finished. Yes, sir. Job's finished. Order scout. Job's finished. I read you. Job's finished. Yes, sir. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Doesn't check if the building is completed or
Yes,
not.
sir. Reporting for duty.
I'm getting the bonus as soon as it starts to be built.
Job's reporting for duty. Orders received.
But yeah, in my head I was thinking it would.
Orders, Captain. Right away, sir. Reporting for duty. Job's finished. Yes, sir. Job's finished. Reporting for duty. Job's finished.
Hailing frequencies open.
Orders, Captain. Yes, sir. I read
I'm
you.
getting +5, which means it's affecting these.
Orders, Captain.
Also, I think the collision is not too
Right away,
big.
sir.
Like,
I read
it's
you.
not matching mostly.
Not matching what?
Orders, Captain. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Orders received.
Hailing frequencies open. Set a course.
Orders, Captain.
Hello?
I read you. Orders, Captain.
I think they don't have tile collision in the right side. On the right side. I mean treasury.
Why? No, that's defined in unit stats, so that's not even possible to fuck up. If it takes up this amount space,
Orders, Captain.
they should
Orders
definitely do
received.
it. They don't have pathfinding collision,
Orders
so I can
received.
tweak that.
Affirmative. Right away, sir.
No, I guess I was.
Tiles.
I guess the problem was that I was actually spawning the
Take it
units.
slow.
Oh, yeah, that would probably be it. That's probably also how you managed to not notice that it is giving the bonus without being completed.
Report for
Oh,
duty.
great.
I thought I might have to say that.
I'll
3
fix
times.
that.
Can't believe I need 3 monitors. Well, I am not sure how to set up that madrigal thing, since for whatever reason it is marking the flingy as an incomplete struct or something. But That is a mess of a graphic that I do not want to touch. I think there's a junk version on StarReddit somewhere. I think there's an ice cream truck outside. That's crazy. A Corona truck. TBH. Alright, well that's one more thing that I've done for Ikeware. So, should be able to move on. The rest of my to-do list. Since the treasury itself seems to be good. Where exactly is the unit finder stuff for the treasury? Is that in update unit state?
It's in game hooks.
Oh. Amazing. Baby.
It's very hacky though, so expect breaking stuff when you edit it, so be careful.
Why? 8 times 32. All I'm doing is adding more range.
That shouldn't break anything though, so that's fine. But the logic is pretty complicated, I guess. So careful with that.
Wonder if there's any effects in Five Nations' dump that I could take a look at.
So the thing is, I could extend the range by unit size, which means I would just add the add its like parameters. It's get left, get right, etc. to the radius, to the unit finder.
Nano infection. Destructive field. That's actually kind of neat. I could see that being used as like a epic size storm. Oh, honestly, maybe that could work out better as far as this is a strat, okay? What if augurs had an upgrade that made them explode in an AoE field? I think that would be super thematic because it's like psionic storm. So instead of their upgrade where they turn into a missile, making it so that they, or maybe that would spawn wherever the missile. Okay, so I think still turning into a missile is better, but when it impacts, it would create this field. That could be really useful, actually. But I'm not sure if it can be recolored reasonably. I'm wondering why there's no color on the gamma pulse. Oh no, what is this?
Reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. Orders received. Right away, sir. Job finished. Yes, sir. Affirmative. I read you. Orders, Captain. Yes, sir. Job's finished. Orders, Captain. Job's finished. Right away, sir. Job's finished. Roger that. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Roger that. Orders received. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Report for duty. I read you. Report for duty.
Yeah, that range seems off considering the number of pixels it's actually supposed to be. So maybe it's not only coming from the center, but also has to hit the center of the unit that it's meant to. So I guess your change there would be more useful. If you know what I mean. Oh boy. All right, so now I get the fun job of hunting down various graphics that I hope will be useful for a robotics facility unit. So starting at 08.
So what is that graphic?
It's a man goon, dude. It has a turret. I think something was there was some sorting issue on this render. What is happening? Why is it blocked by some? Wow, that's pretty cool. Should be noted, I don't think that this particular graphic will be great, but if we get it working, it could be.
So what would you use it for? I guess we could use it for terminals or something.
It could be a terminus once recolored. I was also thinking it could be a new robotics facility unit, but it is pretty similar to what I would want from the terminus, I think. It's just that the issue is, of course, the fact that it has a turret. Doesn't seem reasonable.
Honestly, it's kind of weird that we have a walker that is rotating, but
That's a Strider, dude.
yeah, I mean Strider.
Yeah, well, it's not like we have a bunch of other assets to pick from is the problem. So, we're gonna have to deal with some jank. Alright, so that's gonna process. I wonder if when I have more RAM, this process here will go faster. I don't even know what my bottleneck really is. I still haven't re-enabled XMPP. I should probably run some, like, that Heaven benchmark or something. I should probably run some benchmarks to see what the hell the issue is. I still can't believe that my case manufacturer fucked up the connector onto the motherboard. That is some intense stuff right there.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. So, but if you would have a unit that is actually like requiring robotic support by, and it would be like something that would synergize with photon cannons.
In what way would it synergize?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe it would move them or something. I guess we can now just transport them, but
Well, eventually
I
we'll be
feel
able to.
an infrastructure boosting unit could be called for robotics facility.
Yeah, that was called the warp relay, but it's got needs too many orders to work. Obviously,
Rip.
that wasn't for buildings, though. That was basically it allowed you to instantly teleport units from production
Right.
structures that it had bound to. But yeah, I mean, that being said, I can see an argument for. Well, I don't know. I think that the advanced worker will probably come out of the robotics facility, so there's that. But it's not really a combat unit or a utility unit. We did talk about having it have a power field around itself, though. I wonder if that's even feasible to do.
And that would actually be interesting because the unit then would like be able to build anywhere, which is
It's like
interesting.
it is kind of a defining characteristic of Protoss that they need pylons. So I'm glad that it's not like it's still situational around the unit, right? So you have to keep the unit there until a pylon warps in, but the idea is that you don't have to wait for a pylon to warp in order to build stuff. So I think it's cool. I think we could also have different kinds of power fields, but this is probably something we should save for the new engine. Ah, it's one of those. Well, at least I didn't open, or at least I didn't make my copies yet. I forgot I have to save these without the flip row order. You'd still have to keep the unit in the area just for stuff to function. Yeah, exactly. So it's not like we're making them behave like better Protoss. It's a positional advantage, yeah.
Yeah, but you can, for example, start building stuff and then at the same time start building pylons, so...
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Keyboard ASMR, boys. I still can't believe that they forgot to hide some sort of invisible thing, or what was supposed to be invisible, and it's just in the upper layer of that animation, so it blocks the fucking muzzle flash. What a prank. I'll have to manually reconstruct it once it's in frame set organization. I wonder if, I actually wonder if this is automatically aligned with the source unit, or if we're gonna have to create an overlay to make sure that it's in line properly. We're also gonna have to recolor the muzzle flash, obviously. Is it even supposed to shoot out smoke first? Like in real life, would that happen? I don't know that much about guns, but I'm pretty sure I don't know, something about that doesn't seem quite right. Why is it taking so long to save these?
So do we actually have some new AI commands?
Yeah.
I think I could mention some. I wonder what those are.
He sent me the specs for it earlier. I just have to add it to the doc. I guess since we're planning on revising the build orders, we can also look into revising some of the other stuff. Oh. Well, I kind of forgot I was supposed to duplicate some frames. So I guess I'll delete that. But at least I checked all of them, so I know we're good. So yeah, I think this will actually work out pretty well for the terminus. And I have some ideas of how we might be able to recolor some other stuff to be used for a different kind of robotics facility unit. Of course, it really hurts that we have almost no facing directions for this unit, but... What? There we go. Why Windows? Jesus Christ, Windows. Am I just losing my fucking mind? Where did the other one go? Oh, I guess I renamed it somehow. Okay. Well, there's that. Now I just need to do the other one. Unfortunately, we seem to be in a similar situation over here. Holy moly.
Anyways, I think I'll be going, so...
You're
didn't
out of
really
here?
do a lot, but-
Oh, I didn't hear that last part because of echo.
So I was saying that I didn't really do a lot, but at least the treasury is working and Nexus scaling, so...
Yeah, what were
That's cool.
you just doing a second ago? Were you doing something?
Well, I was playing some T1 for testing.
Oh,
That's
how'd it
about
go?
it. Um,
I imagine the AI is still pretty dumb.
yeah, they actually build overload diaries, which is at least that, so...
Yeah.
But lives get destroyed pretty easily.
Well, they're not really set up yet to
The engineering bay is fine in this state, but I'm not yet too sure.
we will be continuing to watch how things unfold.
Yep.
Well,
So,
thanks for
see
your
ya.
code. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
You too. Excuse me. So I'm just about done with this silliness. Shortly, I will be diving into more of these graphics, and with any luck, we'll get somewhere. But I obviously have to do the most annoying part now, which is to make multiple copies of the same fucking thing. 6 per, to be exact. So, Balethal, if you're still hanging around, did you have any interest in working on something related to Fraud Night? Or Fraud Night? Map crap? Oh, wait. I didn't actually need all those. Aha, here we go. Starting on the second half here. Destroyed. Well, we're only halfway through the first month. I keep thinking that we have no time at all, but we do. So... Wait, what? I just lost my whole fucking focus because of something stupid. Looks like we have an extra one lying around somewhere. Or wait, no, we're missing one. Oh, it's in here somewhere. Aha, 1796. Okay, I just forgot to 98 it here. There we go. Now we're good. At least on frame count. We'll see about accuracy once I plug it all in. Okay. I guess I only need a shadow for this. So we'll export this out as... And I'll go ahead and batch process. We'll say unit shadow infantry, UA tank shad. While that's working, I'm going to take a quick break and use the bathroom. And then I will be diving, like I said, into some other graphics before I even bother trying to implement this just yet. So I shall return momentarily. I have returned. Oh yeah, that was the one that was super fucked for some reason. I wonder if there's a copy in one of these. Oh, there's a cut. That's what it is. I'll have to replace that with a delete so that I can actually use my clipboard in the middle of this. That's a classic that I always forgot about. Oh boy. Hey, at least with Atomic Punk we had a couple of meme-worthy graphics. And some ones that ended up working out okay, like the Paladin, for example. Madrigal also looks alright. I mean, this could easily be used as like some sort of hovercraft. Not sure if it would be usable for anything that I have planned, but I might even end up using it as a southpaw replacement. Though it's a little bulky for that, but... Mustang looks a little goofy. But I think the Mosquito could be used. I will actually end up, I don't know about the engine graphics. I'm not sure if those would be compatible with our palettes. But I will be taking the muzzle flash at the very least, because that can be game basic, I'm pretty sure, and either adding it directly to the frame set the way that the Scout has it, or setting it up so that it's an overlay. Probably just putting it as part of the same GRP though. But for now, I just want to process the actual unit. Alright, I've got to save all of these, I'm pretty sure. Thankfully, it's not that many. I will have to run these through a canvas to get rid of all the wasted space at the bottom, though. What the f... Why is that even there? I find it curious that they decided to leave out the muzzle flash animations and stuff like that from aircraft, but other effects that also would have benefited from being completely separate were not left out, like the repair. Like you can see this right here. That little white overlay there could definitely have been, well, it's not really an overlay, but the white effect could have been an overlay. And instead they decided against that. I'm not really sure why. In this case, we might be able to add, like, yeah, use it as a ranged unit, though. In fact, this might end up being an Ecclesius replacement for Deliverance. It's clearly not, like, I think you could make an argument that it's kind of Protoss-y, visibly. But we'll see once we get it in there, because it also looks pretty blocky, which doesn't really match their armor. So... Alright, so that's processed and ready for a bit more development. So I think the problem with this particular graphic that I found out was that it only has animations for mining on the corners, like top right, top left, bot right for some reason. I don't know why. So I decided we weren't probably not going to convert that one. Yeah, those engines, I'm not really sure if we can convert them properly. But the other stuff is pretty trivial. Oops. Wow, that looks like a fucking graphic and a half, dude. A different kind of miner, it looks like. Bullet! Hacker, by the way. This thing barely has team color on it. Fuzzy Lab. Fuzzy Bay. Flying tank, by the way. Energy van. Oh, that's the truck, alright. Cracker. Face hugger attack, I guess. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. I still can't believe anti-man is a real thing. Pretty sure these are all UI related things or projectiles, I guess. Weird. Tactic van. Well, we kind of came up short there as far as graphics go. I thought for sure we would have a different... some sort of something or other. Oh. Vampire. Oh yeah, I forgot they had that fucking bat for some reason. What's up, Ultralisks? Right now we're doing a bit of a Hydra dev. Although it's kind of a bit of both. I was processing some graphics for Deliverance earlier. Now I'm just looking for something else. I wonder if I have to run it as admin or something stupid. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I feel like I already converted this, but doesn't look like it. Okay. I guess we can make a copy of this and then run the new init on it and see if that does it. Oh, it's already fucking him. Yeah. Stop. That's the other thing that we need to do. Because for some reason, they process these images in such a way. I don't get this at all. Why would they do it this way? Why would they be white BMPs and then also have white pixels of the same tone inside the graphic? Like, they're using white in here. I guess we can try it because it doesn't really matter that much. We can see what happens. Because then when I compile them into a frame set, I might be able to just roll in and repaint everything manually using the method where I select everything that's like every pixel and then deselect it based on contiguousness. So only deselect the outer side. We'll try that as a first pass, and then we'll see if there's anything else that's obviously messed up where it shouldn't be. Thankfully, it does look like most of the bright pixels, the bright white pixels, are surrounded by other pixels. Anything that's bright white and on the edge of the graphic is going to be a problem. So hopefully there's none of that. So what's been up with you anyway, Ultralisks? How you been? It has been a while since I have seen you in one of these streams. Alright, there's a ton of frames here. I guess I'll go back to looking in the middle of the... stuff over here. I think once I take ownership of it, it should be fine. Though it's going to take quite a while for this one, if I had to guess. There's a ton of files in here. I don't know if that should be in resources, but... Well, at least you found some way to still be of value, right? Nothing worse than when you feel like you're already feeling kind of shitty because of whatever external situation, but then you also can't really do anything to change it or whatever, so... Sounds like you at least avoided that issue. In theory. I like how he can unburrow. That's pretty stupid. Well, if you had gone and found work, it would have been kind of the same deal, you know? Also wouldn't have been able to play games. Did you happen to catch the enormous changelog that happened with regards to Hydra pretty recently? You know, the one that I couldn't fit. I had to separate into 3 different messages. Well, there's me and Veeq are a team, and then there's iQuare, DF, maybe Dark Metzen. Well, I guess maybe DF as well. Maybe Balefall. He says he wants to do it, but he needs some ideas. I don't know. He should just reincarnate Jack and On Stream Sparrow or whatever that guy's name was. No, that's totally understandable. We started late twice in a row, unfortunately. But with any luck, we'll be able to do it in the morning time on Wednesday. So maybe we'll see you there. I guess I can close this now. Yeah, I would say that the maps should probably be original, but if you're significantly overhauling them or whatever, I don't see why that's not allowed. And certainly you can use Hydra's game state as a base. Though you'll have to be prepared to deal with whatever insanity we end up adding. We'll try to get it stable before the end of this month because I actually want to make sure that we have stability for Deliverance for, you know, obviously that extends everybody else who's also using it. I haven't asked his opinion for that, and he has not volunteered it either, so I am actually not sure. Oh, yeah, yeah. If you're just using them as inspiration or whatever, that's definitely fine. I thought you were talking about popping open those maps and just editing them or something. Which is, I mean, I can't really know that you didn't, but it's not quite in the spirit of the contest, we'll put it that way. What other program could it be opening? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh. Okay. Classic. I actually do have to save every one of these 272 files. All right, once we're done here. I'm not even really sure what the relative size of this graphic is going to be. It looks smaller than a Reaver, for example. Or at least, maybe it's as tall as a Reaver, but not as wide. I think this scale relative to other units in the game for this particular graphic was probably intended to be quite large. But obviously everything in Outlive is much smaller compared to Starcraft, so at least the units are. The buildings are relatively similar sizes. I think after that, I mean, I'm not even sure if we'll be able to recolor it to be more Protossy. Because it definitely doesn't fit the Terran aesthetic. So if it has to be a Terran aesthetic in terms of like a Terran unit, because we can't recolor it, we could probably use it for the Emojins and Deliverance. So we're back to keyboard ASMR for the time being. I wonder how I'm even supposed to be doing this here. So, Balethal, did you have any thoughts about the balance of the tech trees now? I noticed you were, obviously, you didn't think very highly of the photon cannon changes, but I'm not sure how much of that was critique of the concept, or how much of that was just you being caught by surprise by it. I was thinking that there should probably be some more cost adjustments to the other factories. So, Robotics Facility Stargate, and to, what's it called? Factory Starport. Because right now it does feel like it's a little bit steep cost-wise. And not very, like, it's almost like, I kind of think that maybe the factory should be mineral heavy, but lower on gas. So it should be like 200 minerals and 50 gas, or 250 minerals, 50 gas, or something. Maybe not 250, because that is pretty high. But then the starport could be 100, 100, or something like that. Or 100, 150, although I don't think I'll go that high. Because it's like, oh, you're spending more gas to get a starport than you are to get a factory, instead of them being equal. I was thinking something like that. And then I was also thinking of upping the cost of the add-ons instead. Maybe slightly, maybe a lot, for the sake of making it so that it's not as much of an investment to get the initial structure, but as part of teching up to like tier 1.5 or 2.5, depending on what add-on you're getting. Maybe there's something there. Well, that's where I think you're wrong, because the robotics facility can be built as your first structure, besides the pylon and assimilator, obviously. So you actually could go straight to it. I mean, you could go straight to Forge first. The question here is how much of a reduced cost should the robotics facility receive? If I was just going to reduce the cost of that, I would think that that would be imbalancing. But if I reduce the cost for the Terrans and for Stargates, as in addition to the robotics facility, I think that would unlock a little bit more in the form of early strategy. Because the whole point is that we should have more early strategy now, significantly more early strategy, and that you're going to have to, like, it's even more important to scout what your opponent is doing with their early stuff. You know what I mean? So cannon-focused openings should still be feasible. It's just that you have to invest gas into them now, which you didn't before. And maybe, I think the robotics facility is more time costly than the Forge used to be. But I'm pretty sure that it's not by a huge amount. So it'll be a little bit more... Well, the other thing is that the Forge had this mixed bag associated with it, where it was base infrastructure in unlocking the photon cannon, but it was also enhancement of ground armies in the upgrades. And I don't... So the way that the sort of paradigm that I've had now is you should be getting production structure first, and then you get some sort of unlock based on that. So the production structure itself is what is related to the unlock of the tech. So, for example, I would actually consider making the Forge require a gateway. And then you have Forge Gateway, Gateway Forge, Citadel of Adun, Templar Archives, Grand Library. That's your tech path there. And then for robotics, I guess it would be it would be robotics facility, robotics support bay, wisdom altar, and then there's going to be a couple of other structures, like the architect's hall is going to be one of them. There's going to be a few others that unlock additional units. One would unlock the clarion. Well, that's the wisdom altar. But then there's going to be one that unlocks like a new unit, some other stuff. So at that point, it's like a bit more streamlined what you can actually do. The Stargate Templar Archive, Stargate Fleet Beacon, and Fleet Beacon gives you air unit upgrades, just like Gateway Forge. Forge gives you ground unit upgrades. I think that's probably what I'm going to do with the Forge, is make it require the Gateway first, and then we would have, again, additional units unlocked by other things. So the fleet beacon will probably be the requirement for the Panoptus. Or there will probably be another air structure that upgrades Panoptuses and air upgrades in general as well. So it would have air upgrades, it would have Panoptus upgrades, and probably Aurora upgrades. And it would unlock Panoptuses, which won't be available by default anymore, which may result in them getting slightly reduced costs, but I don't think so because they are pretty powerful. They're pretty cost effective. And then we would have Fleet Beacon, which unlocks Carrier, and then there would be another structure that unlocks the new Destroyer unit, and then obviously the Grand Library in conjunction with the Carrier currently unlocks the Star Sovereign, but eventually we'll have our its own tech structure that maybe also requires the Grand Library, or something to that effect. Or the unit will require a Grand Library and that tech structure. That will have the Star Sovereign's upgrade. So basically, the idea is that Protoss differ from Terran. So Terran have to they get a whole tier of tech unlocked at once when they build a single tech structure. So engineering base tier 2, science facility tier 3, quantum institute tier 4. Protoss have some aspect of that in the Grand Library, just like they have some aspect of that in the Templar Archives and stuff like that. But I'm trying to phase some of that out so that we can essentially have it so that when you build a structure when you build a factory for Protoss, some units are available straight away. Other units require you to go deeper into the tech tree that factory is a part of. So Gateway is part of the ground, and Reaver or robotics facility is part of robotics, which includes Reaver and will include some other units like the Clarion eventually when we get them implemented. Stargate obviously is air. So you've got these different tech paths that you can go down. And the more you go down them, the more units you get to unlock, the more tools you have in your arsenal, in your unit composition. And you actually build this stuff piecemeal. So unlike Terrans, which get everything all at once in some ways, or it's sort of like more brute force in that way, where they get the ability to tech up, to specialize further, but all at once, instead of like, it would be like if you had one add-on per new unit or something. It's a similar kind of thing for Protoss. That's kind of the analogy I would draw. So Protoss build one building to unlock one unit, like the Cybernetics Core unlocks Dragoons. It also unlocks Vicarages and then Hierophants, which is probably fine. But most units are going to require their own tech structure or something like that. Yes, the Forge unlocks the Legionnaire by virtue of unlocking the Principality. So it already does that, which is one of the reasons why I think it makes sense to have the Forge require a gateway in the first place. So that's one of those things that I just feel like we could also put the leg enhancements upgrade and the what's it called? There's another upgrade. So Vortex Blades or Blade Vortex, I think, is what it's called. Blade Vortex. So you could put that on the Forge so that it upgrades both Zealots and Legionnaires, right? And then any future upgrades for those units would also go there. But they would probably both require Citadel of Adun because they are advanced tech, right? So then it's like, okay, now in order for me to get the most out of these units, I should be upgrading stuff, or I should be going deeper into the tech path. And the Citadel of Adun unlocks the Dark Templar. And the Dark Templar upgrades will be at the Citadel of Adun, along with potentially some other stuff. I'm not really sure. It already has the Silent Strikes upgrade for Dark Templar, but there's going to be some more stuff in there. I think, well, there's going to be more Dark Templar upgrades than just one, basically. And then we will have... So then you have like a very segmented but straightforward approach to unlocking units. The odd man out is the Dragoon stuff with the Cybernetics Core, because the Cybernetics Core it's almost like floating in its own space. It's kind of like, so if you had to draw a graph, you would be like Gateway, and then Forge and Cybernetics Core would be separate in theory. They'd be like coming out So like you have two lines coming out of the gateway, one pointing towards the Forge and one pointing towards the Cybernetics core. But then from the Forge, you get Citadel and Templar Archives and Grand Library in a line, and then the Cybernetics core just ends. So I don't know if maybe there would be another structure from the Cybernetics core that you would get for the sake of unlocking Hierophants, because Hierophants have proven to be quite useful, and then we could drop their individual cost because now they're a little bit harder to access. You have to actually build another tech structure for them. That would also fix the fact, or not really fix, it's not really a problem per se, but it would keep the Hierophants in line with everything else, where everything has a specific tech structure associated with it instead of one tech structure unlocking 2 units. It would be like one tech structure unlocks 1 unit, and that I think could be useful. What's up, roller skates? Get you, idiot. Talking about the giant tech tree changes that Hydra has had recently. And how we can continue to make additional changes to improve upon the themes. And you guys will not be able to see the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat because YouTube is a functioning service that actually did not regress in quality, I promise. Except it did. Fucking assholes. Yeah. Well, there is the plan to add another Strider, but I don't really know exactly where it will be. So the other thing is that there's nothing else like this in the current state of the game where there's multiple branches per production structure, which is a little off. But there will be for the Starfield or Stargate stuff, because you'll basically be able to unlock... so, like, whatever unlocks the Panoptis will probably eventually lead you to unlock the Fleet Beacon. And then whatever unlocks the Exemplar by way of unlocking the Argosy will eventually lead you to unlock the Destroyer Craft, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. Maybe it'll be a specialist or something, but I think it'll probably be a Destroyer Craft. And then whatever leads you to unlock the... So this is like 2 per, right? And then one of them will lead you to Arbiter. I think it'll probably be Arbiter Tribunal will be available as soon as you get the Stargate itself. And you'll be able to go from Arbiter Tribunal into the tech structure for the Star Sovereign. So I think one of the trees, one of the paths there will probably have more than the others, but only by 1. So that covers that, right? So now we have everything for the Stargate more or less taken care of. The problem is there's nothing like that for the robotics facility, which isn't necessarily terrible, I guess, but forgot that I still have to do this, unfortunately. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to dig in there and find a way to add a bunch of graphics. I'm saying that because I'm looking at a graphic right now. A bunch of units to the robotics facility chain. So we already have like the Clarion planned. We're actually going to have an advanced worker that's built at the robotics facility. So there's that. And this is in addition to the Observer and the Reaver and the Shuttle. But if we think about the number of units that you can get at the Gateway or the Stargate, where you're dealing with like Aurora, Corsair, Panoptus, Exemplar, Destroyer Craft, Star Sovereign, Carrier, Arbiter, and then the other specialist. I mean, I lost count literally while I was rattling them all off. So, but it's something close to like 7 or 8, 9, something like that. For Gateway, it's Zealot, Dragoon, Legionnaire, Hierophant, High Templar, Dark Templar, and then as a result, Archon, Dark Archon. So you're talking about 8 units there, right? Because that's 8. Yeah, I think it should be more than just random utility units in the Reaver, because that doesn't really give you a huge amount of like a central thematic, which is one of the reasons why I tied photon cannons to the robotics facility in the first place, is because I kind of want it to be this thing where you... I mean, in a sense, the bulwark will actually be from the robotics facility as well, because I believe that it's either that or the support bay that will allow you to turn your shield batteries into bulwarks, which are these mobile shield batteries, basically. And I think we'll probably have something similar to that for photon cannons. So... Alright, we're going to try to compile this again, see if it works. I probably missed 1 or 2 or 10,000 frames, but... Oh. This one won't tell me, I think. I like how helpful that error is. There was an error during conversion. Whatever the fuck that means. We have chaos. Just making sure there's none of these got zeroed out. Because that can happen. Okay. I guess we'll also have to make the robotics facility actually large, which means finding a new graphic for it. I don't know about that one, man. Oh, no. No, this is all wrong. Oh, and that's not right either. Oh man, this is gonna be shit. And I can't believe how shitty these tools are. Alright, so basically now the problem is that some of these are actually supposed to be dark, I think. I don't know, I can't really tell you. Oh. Yep, that is definitely the case. I think it's only the only a few of them. But that doesn't make any sense at all. What color is this? So my other color didn't fix this either. There's not supposed to be pixels that are, I guess there probably would be no matter what, now that I think about it. So we've got two problems now. So now we have the problem of some of these pixels need to be white, and the problem of some of these pixels need to be the almost black color. Which basically translates to, fuck, I've got to do this manually. I don't know why it was converted that way, man. That's so annoying. Unbelievable. I don't even have a guarantee that this graphic is going to work correctly. I'm doing all of this in the hopes that it will. Well, this is actually ripped from a game, so it should not be fucked. But I think it's that the game originally was... it really feels like this was an error from the rip or something, because I can't imagine them actually trying to... Oh yeah, I've got to change that as well. But yeah, I can't imagine them actually indexing through this method, given the fact that it doesn't take into account all of the other white indices. So like there's got to be something going on here that I'm not privy to one way or another that I don't understand, because there were white pixels in the source graphic, and yet the background was also white. How the fuck were they indexing out the background? Short answer, I don't know if they were. But presumably they were. Also a classic thing here I'm gonna have to fix up later. No, it was ripped from the game. Iquare himself ripped it, so... That's what I'm getting at here. It just don't make no sense. But this kind of shit is so annoying to me. It's just menial labor. It definitely seems like a mistake of some kind because it's not a problem that exists in any of the other cases. Like any of the other graphics, none of them have white backgrounds, so maybe it was just a fuck up on iQueer's part and happened to be a graphic that I wanted to try to use. Which would be my luck, of course. So hard to tell which ones are supposed to be one tone or another. You'd think it would be super easy to tell because they're literally opposite ends of the color spectrum, but you know. Oh. Oh, never mind. I got worried for a second. It looked like the top half of the graphic was cut off or something in some of these frames. Some of the pixels are also supposed to be transparent, the pure black, but those are fairly easy to spot most of the time, at least. Anyway, I saw that you mentioned something about using making a tanky frontliner type unit on the robotics facility, and I think that could definitely work. Since it would be like adding utility without necessarily what's it called? It wouldn't be adding like power as much as it would be adding utility for the rest of the game. I guess the problem is like it's pretty easy to be self-sufficient with the other factions, or the other tech paths. So I'm not 100% sure if that should be something that sort of defines the robotics stuff. Now, admittedly, with the tech tree changes, I don't think you'll remain on one playstyle for very long, despite the fact that there are more units for every single tech path than there ever have been in before. I think you'll pretty frequently see yourself pivoting between the techs. Like, you probably want at least 2 out of 3 or something like that. Which I think is fine. I don't want to encourage rock, paper, scissors stuff, which is basically what you get when you can't be self-sufficient with a certain strategy. Is like, oh, they built the hard counter to aircraft instead of it being like counter to the specific aircraft you're using or something. So I am somewhat worried about that possibility. But I don't think it is... I don't think we're in danger of needing to worry about that, really. Like, that doesn't seem like it's a big risk right now. I guess it might be a bit more encouraged, though, if we end up relying on, like, basically if the tech tree system works as I envision it, you're going to be encouraged to, like, the map balance will have a huge say in whether or not it makes sense to tech up. Like, some maps are going to favor tech rushes, and some maps are going to favor staying at the earlier tech for a lot longer. Yeah, if I wanted to push them in the direction where they are a bit more self-sufficient, we could have that, the anti-air unit show up. That could definitely help out. I already made it so that the observatory is renamed. It unlocks the Clarion. It is the Wisdom Altar. I'm not sure if the name will stick just yet, but you never know, man. It could. Elaborate. Of course, they saved the most annoying one for last. Gotta get in between the legs. Otherwise, you'll get all sorts of funky shit. Yeah, we're gonna see how it works out, man. Maybe it'll be a robotics facility spider unit or something. This could be, I guess, be the anti-air unit or something. Oh. Didn't even notice that the first time somehow. Oh well. Easy enough to fix. It doesn't just upgrade observers, it upgrades the Clarion, and the Clarion is meant to be this unit that is a bit more... has a bit more religious symbolism associated with it. I can understand how it may not seem easy to divine that information, though, without a bit more context. But I was thinking of potentially changing it anyway to... Wisdom Assembly or something like that. I don't know if I want to do Assembly. The problem is that the Terrans also have something similar. They've got like Science Facility, Robotics Facility. I don't really like doubling up on names like that, although it's obviously pretty difficult to avoid all of that junk. You don't remember, but not the combat support units of the casters you already added? I'm not sure if there's a translation error with that one. Maybe you can try again. Don't mean to be an asshole, just not really sure what you mean. Are you asking if I've added any combat support units? If so, we're talking about the Clarion, which will be added, but is not yet available. Well, I think that's probably as good as we're going to get for the first pass without taking it in-game and seeing if I missed anything. I'll quickly take a look again throughout all of these frames to see if, in fact, I did. But I don't think so. That being said, I do think I actually went the other direction and ended up making some frames that weren't supposed to be, or some pixels that weren't supposed to be complete black. Complete black. But now I can't find them, so I don't know where they are. Oh, well, here's one example we can fix. That's not what I was thinking of. Oh, right. So it was stuff like this where I thought... It's hard to actually tell, though. No, I don't think it's supposed to be that way, yeah. Okay. So that should be easy to resolve real quick. I think that's the only thing, though. That one was a tough call because of how close it was to the outside. Some of this stuff might also be like that, where it's just supposed to be a shadow of some sort, but like on the right of the graphic. So we may be coming back to the Photoshop document, the drawing board. Maybe coming back to that a little bit sooner than expected, but I think at the very least most of the issues will be resolved before we even get in there, which is nice, even though it wasn't so nice that we had to spend so much time on this. Okay, looks like we're good otherwise. Did he add a support to the Terran robotic medicine? All right, I think I know what you mean now. There's going to be a research for shamans, which are robotic drones that will allow them to repair nearby units, nearby mechanical units, similar to how they repair nearby organic units, or they heal nearby organic units in their default mode. So you will be able to upgrade them should you want something like that. So basically you'll be able to deploy them and they'll be able to repair vehicles. What's up, Enoz? Yeah, it's just, well, it's like a set of frames, so I finally finished the repairs that were necessary, hopefully. We hope. I think it was 272 frames. Oh. Well, I just found one issue. It's pretty funny. There's always little things that you think you're done and you're not. Alright, I think I'm done again though. Which means I'm not, but hopefully I don't find that out until later. So much specific pixel work. Oh. On the flip side, there's apparently a couple pixels that are not supposed to be there. What about them? Alright, let's get out of here for now. Okay. So now we have that graphic for whatever good it does us. I didn't end up finding much, many useful things, unfortunately. I'm wondering if maybe there's... I can find some more stuff in here, maybe? Carb Uncle, by the way. I don't know what the hell that is, but that's pretty silly. Oh, were they given support units? I mean, Queens were reworked. Hallucination was reworked for the High Templar. Clarion will be arriving at some point in the hopefully near future for Protoss, which is definitely a supportive unit. Unfortunately, there's really not a whole lot of stuff that's particularly useful here in any of these files. Balefall did mention earlier screenshot reconstructions. That's what that looked like to me. He's a cool guy. I don't know about that lighting though. Was there anything that I could recolor from Priority Survive? I'm trying to cast my mind back to when I was actually working on that stuff. Oh, I guess we could use this. It would be complete lunacy, but it could be done. Artist Yosef! My man. Find and destroy all frames we don't need. Because if we managed to recolor this to be Protoss, we could definitely use this. Though it would feel like it would probably be an artillery unit, so I don't know. Maybe it would end up being for one of the other factions in Deliverance. I don't know if it would fit in Hydra. Oh god. The attack animation is going to need to be... Well, this animation in general is going to need to be axed, I think. I don't think we can use any of that. The pallet would destroy it. But that's okay, because we can just use our own projectile or make it a hit scan or something, depending on what we actually want to do with it. Okay. Let's give it a shot. See what we come up with. What? Is this even working in the other folder? No. It says it is. That does not look like complete zero, though. What is this? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it should be possible for you to add some more stuff. So. Well, I'm not really sure how to resolve that. I'm wondering if maybe... Convert mode. Because I thought for sure... What even is this? Oh, this is BMP, that's fine. See you later, Loler. Thanks, man. Appreciate you hanging. I'm just wondering why these PNGs... Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to load it manually. Oh, maybe that has something to do with it, actually. So maybe if we go all the way back to the beginning and I do this. Maybe then it won't require me to save it? Uh-huh, there we go. I think maybe that at least is why it was the mat was black instead of what it should have been. Well, oh, actually I was using a fucking BMP instead of a PNG like an idiot, so I don't really know if that's the case. Am I in the wrong folder? No? Oh, these are BMPs. They're just BMPs with transparency. Is that right? That seems wrong. I'm pretty sure there are PNGs in here. Oh, no, they aren't. Wow. That's actually really weird. I've never seen that before. Why the fuck are they like that? Alright, anyway. Now I should be able to try it. So let me try that. Why? Convert to smart object. Rasterize. Is there some sort of channel that I should be getting rid of? I'm just wondering what's different about these files compared to the Five Nations ones, which don't ask me for this insanity. Like if I open this, okay, well that's a BMP, so that would be why that's not working. Ha ha ha, big one, big funny me. Let's try this. Let's take this. It does not have an alpha channel, so I think maybe that's what it is. So maybe if I delete, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that's because it's already been removed, idiot. I think maybe that has something to do with it. Yes, that was it. Okay. So now we can move this to the priority survive folder, wherever that is. Oh, hold on. And now we can edit the alien cannon in batch. Nice. So yeah, I just had to get rid of the alpha mask. All right, I'm gonna let this run, and I'm gonna take a bit of a break, see if see what else is on the table for today as far as video content goes and all that junk. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. I appreciate the company while I continue to work on stuff. I appreciate the design talk, Balethal. I definitely think I'm a little bit better equipped to make some compelling changes to the Protoss tech tree to make them feel a little bit more like they have a distinct personality and a distinct gameplay trait as far as how their tech tree rolls out, similar to how Terrans have, and obviously Zerg are different, but all of them are a bit more unique, I think, after that conceptual stuff. So we're gonna probably be implementing that tomorrow, if I had to guess, and then try to finalize all that junk before Wednesday rolls around and we start working on another Fraud Night. In the meantime, I'm just going to continue processing some graphics, and we'll see what else happens. I will catch you guys later on. And generally speaking, have a good one. Bye.